Hi, I'm John Hart. Welcome back to Mr. America Heart. Today, I'm really glad you came by because we're going to really get down to it today. I'm just going to make things really simple for you, okay? Cut through all the weeds that's out there right now regarding muscular growth. Mike Mentzer. I'm holding the last book that Mike had anything to do with contribution-wise. Mike was in the middle of writing this book when he died. He didn't totally complete it. It was completed by Joanne Sharkey, his main inheritor, and then John Little worked with her on that to finish this book. High Intensity Training the Mike Mentzer Way. I'll put a link down below that you can get your copy of High Intensity Training the Mike Mentzer Way. Now, why is this important? I'm going to fold this up for a moment while I talk. It's just more comfortable for me to hold it this way. Why is this important? What is it in this book that actually clearly states what was Mike's main principle for causing hypertrophy muscular growth? Well, it just so happens that it's the same principle that will cause hypertrophy in any human being. That's across the board. We don't differ. Across the board, the requirement for increasing the size of your muscles, my muscles, the guy down the block's muscles, the woman down the block's muscles, the 89-year-old woman down the block's muscles is all the same. I'm getting there in a moment, okay? That is indisputable. Okay? There's just one main principle going to instill hypertrophy. Hang on a second. So why are we all caught up in the weeds? Well, here we are. We find ourselves in 2024. This book was written, by the way, way back in 2001. It was published. So we're talking about 23 years later. This book was published. What's occurred in the last 23 years? Well, at the time, there really wasn't any sort of a make sense, let's call it, well, logical thinkers out there trying to apply certain scientific principles to bodybuilding. The closest I can think of in my mind at the time, besides coaches, okay, coaches have been great. I'm talking about bodybuilding wise. In bodybuilding circles, Charles Poliquin was around and he was trying to get, different principles together, and he did write several really good books on bodybuilding and growing muscle. But it was Mike who pointed out the main ingredient. So we're getting there. So Charles Poliquin, very good. He applied the ingredient knowingly and unknowingly at times, but mainly this ingredient that Mike identifies right here in this book, which I'm about to read to you. Do a little story time for you. But the principle applies to all humans, much like growing a callus on my hand, okay? Whether it's my hand, your hand, the 89-year-old woman down the block's hand, the frail, thin boy's hand, the black man, the white man, the Asian man, the Asian woman, for that matter, whatever, man, woman, doesn't matter what we're talking about here. Doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. The same principle, the same requirement for growing a callus on your hand is friction. You need friction. Without friction, your body will not accommodate and grow the much desired callus on your hand. It's a protection measure that your body takes for protecting the skin on our hands. Follow me. Just like growing new muscle on your body is a protective mechanism. Think of it like that now, survival. It's a protective mechanism that's in place to protect our bodies from a further onslaught of whatever the stress is that we've put on it. Okay? It's about the simplest I could say it. So what is this principle? What is this requirement? On page 39, again, High Intensity Training the Mike Mentzer Way. On page 39, end of the second paragraph, it says, it has been well documented for more than 8 decades within the world of exercise physiology that high intensity muscular contraction is the most important requirement for the stimulation of rapid increases in muscular size and strength, whereas the duration of the exercise is not important in this regard. Moreover, high-intensity muscular contraction prevents even the possibility of a large number of such contractions within a given unit of time. Now, first of all, he mentions here over 8 decades. Again, this was in 2001. We're now 23 years past that point. He would be correct if he said today, and I'm saying it right now, we're talking about 10 decades. It's been well known over 10 decades. Over 100 years, it's been well known. On this same page, at the very bottom of the page, I'm going to show you right over here. At the very bottom of the page, there's references. Those references are for the studies. There's 4 different studies named all the way going back to 1917 regarding muscular growth, hypertrophy from high-intensity muscular contractions. The thing about the 4 studies mentioned, there's a common theme. I just read it in the end of that last sentence. The last few words of that sentence said, a large number of such contractions, high intensity, within a given unit of time. Time is a factor. Within a given workout, if a workout that you're doing, how can we translate that? Well, within a given workout, if you're used to doing a workout within, let's say, 40 minutes exactly for training a body part or several body parts, whatever, I'm not even getting hung up on that. If you're used to doing it in 40 minutes, and in the course of that workout, you came in this week and you surpassed all of your best with even more weight being lifted, more repetitions being done, and less, well, not less time between each set, but leave the time out of it for the moment. More repetitions, more weight. But the workout took you 45 minutes. That right there, it can almost cancel some of that higher intensity effort that you put forth in using a heavier weight, in doing more repetitions with a given weight. The time factor. Knowing how long your workouts take. This is how time affects your workouts. Knowing how long they take. Getting through those workouts without being interrupted. Or being interrupted, but yet knowing you have a certain amount of time left in your workout. This is a factor in the intensity of your workout. Your muscles recognize that within a given unit of time, whether it's 40 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, the intense effort that you give, that would be, in our case, we're talking about training to momentary muscular failure. If you can train to momentary muscular failure, and I'm going to be straight up with you, I taught heavy duty, high intensity training for 12 years after Mike passed. I taught it. I handled all the consultations, online consultations for Joanne Sharkey and MikeMentzer.com, Mentzer Sharkey Enterprises. I'm well versed with everything Mike Mentzer. Doing that training within a given amount of time, and then further down the road, doing within that same given amount of time, more weight and or more repetitions with a given weight, you've just increased the intensity of that workout to such a high degree that you will stimulate muscular growth, training to momentary muscular failure, at least, and in some cases beyond. You will stimulate hypertrophy, muscular growth. The number one requirement is the intensity of your effort within that workout. It mentioned also, I want to, before I go, I don't want to let this one go. In that very first sentence, that long sentence that I read, it said, it's been well documented for more than 8 decades within the world of exercise physiology that high intensity muscular contractions is the most important requirement for the stimulation of rapid increases in muscular size and strength. Here it is. Whereas the duration of the exercise is not important in this regard. Okay? So right out the gate, the duration of your workout, the duration of a given set of an exercise. This automatically makes it an endurance contest. You will improve your endurance, by the way. If you take a set of an exercise with a given weight and you keep on going and even lighten up the weight and you keep on going for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 repetitions, the stimulus, I know today in 2024, we've heard the only thing that's required is taking it to the very end. Okay. I would contend it's still not as effective. I know this comes from 2001, pre-2001, all the way back to 1917. So we have right here a century's worth of references. You can go and look on page 39 for those studies. So, going all the way back over 100 years, 106 years ago, they knew it's the intensity of your effort within a given unit of time. It's not lengthening the time, even lengthening the time under tension. It's not that. A greater effort within a certain amount of time. The time of your workout, the time of a set. You determine what that is. I know some of you all right now are getting a little hung up on the fact that, some of you do super slow repetitions. That's a whole other ball game now. I've done videos on that. Super slow. The sets that you all do with time under tension gets into the 2, 3, 4 minute realm. That does become an endurance contest, as opposed to those who want to grow muscle mass and they do a set that only takes 30 to 90 seconds, maybe 120 seconds at most. So, I'm making this point to give you, again, food for thought, but also just to show that these facts have been outlined and hardly ever mentioned today. It's just been kind of tossed by the wayside. These studies were already done way back in the day. So please feel free to look them up. Get to page 39 on this book. You'll see them for yourselves. That's it. So listen, I want to hear what you have to say down below in the comment section. Was Mike Mentzer right? Okay? I'm playing around with this paper here and it's probably getting picked up on a hot mic. Hear that? So I'll stop doing that. It's getting annoying. So look, I want to hear what you have to say down in the comment section below. Especially some of you all are very exercise science minded. Some of you all are actual PhDs. Some of you all have done the business in your own studies. I would love to hear down below what you think. And when you do open up this book and you check out page 39, down at the bottom, the references, 4 studies, 4 different authors mentioned, let me know what you think. I've applied these principles for over 40 years to my clients and myself with great results. So to me, it's indisputable. Even if you say the results are the same, to higher volume training, to more endurance-like training, even if you say they're the same, I'll say to you, no, they're not the same. Less injuries, more time on your hands after you get done working out, doing it this way or in high-intensity training fashion. So that's it today. From my heart to you, John Hart, off to your left, you're going to see this disc pop up. Look, before I even do that, whoa, wait a second. I forgot to mention, I'm going to mention it right now. Y'all, I've done training courses. I've put together a training course, HIT with Mr. America Heart. Training course, training and diet course. It's down below. A link below will be for that one. So you can gain access to my training course. Get it. I'll also throw in 3 books that I've written in the full package offer. I'll give you both the full package and the basic package offer down below in this video's description. Now that I did all my house cleaning, off to my left, before you leave, please tap that disc. That's the subscribe button for my channel. That lets YouTube know that you'd like to know when I have new videos pop up. Down below and off to your left, you're going to see that. Oh, it's down there. That thumbs up button. Please give that thing a tap and let the YouTube algorithm know how much you're liking my videos. It lights up the algorithm, makes them show my videos more often to other people, and it lights me up too. Let's go. Help a brother out. Hit that thumbs up button. See y'all soon.